Morning guys, Young here with Air Alliance, and it's range day for my load development. So it's like 7:30 in the morning. The sun's just breaking over the horizon. It's friggin' like 38 degrees out here, but I thought before I got out to the range, because it's a public range, I'm going to do some filming out there, but I can't like stop the firing line to point stuff out on camera. Everybody's going to fire until they say stop firing and then go out and switch your targets. Y'all pretty much know how that works out on a public range. But I'm going out to the public range today to do my load development data gathering, muzzle velocities, air ammo temperature, and what I've done here is, let me get a shot of this. I have developed 3 different loads using 3 different charges. Never mind what it says in there, that's not what it is. But this is a 7mm Remington Magnum round that I loaded last week, so these are the very first ones I've ever done. This one would be the lowest charge load, middle of the run charge load, and then the max charge load. And what I'm going to do today is I am going to see how each of these group and get the muzzle velocities on them, and then determine which basically recipe I'm going to go with. These are 150 grain Accubon long range bullets. I forget the type of powder. I'll have to look that back up and do that later, but it's out of the Nosler 8th edition book, so it's not a Wildcat round or nothing like that. But anyways, I thought I would take a minute before I got done loading up and leaving, just to kind of go over how I'm doing my load development. So it's basically 3 loads, 5 rounds each. Gonna see how they group, get the data on them, choose one, and then start my ballistic charts, and then start producing that load. But I'll try to get some footage out of the range. It's just kind of hard because it's a public range. I don't have the luxury of going anywhere anymore and being alone. So I guess the benefits of going from a rural town of Phoenix to a 5th largest city in the nation, I guess. But yeah, anyways, stay tuned. I'm gonna go get this done.
That's the word here. Yes. She's going to get responsibility. We're coming every other week.
I don't know if you can tell or not by the mic, but it is awfully windy, and I can watch his target bracket wave in the wind. So this is the first ceasefire. This is my factory round shots. This was at my lowest charge. I think that's because that one there is because this thing's like moving in the wind really bad. But still kind of a big group. I'm liking what the 62 grain charge is doing so far, but I still have 64 to go, so we'll see. Alright guys, I got all my shots in. Kind of a windy day today. Had a little bit of issue on the 64 grain load. Last 2 rounds the bolt was kind of sticking to it for extraction, so I don't know what that's about. I gotta study up on it. But that's my 64 grain. That's my 62. Well, I'm leaning towards the 62 just because I don't have to deal as much recoil. Hey guys, welcome back home from the range. Just looking over the information and the targets. I took some video out there checking the targets. You guys get a pretty good idea of what was going on when I was actually shooting, and compiled all my information, and to be honest with you, I couldn't be any happier. consider it a success because, well, A, I didn't blow up my gun or myself, so I didn't double charge anything, which made me really happy because that is a danger, especially when you're reloading and you forget where you left off and you don't have a good system down. But I didn't do that, so we're good there. One of my targets on there was just factory rounds, some fusion rounds I had, and I shot 3 of them just to kind of get warmed up, get used to the recoil, get the nervous energy out before I went into my hand loads, which I had 3 different charges, one at 60 grains of powder, one at 62 grains of powder, and one at 64 grains of powder. And the 60 grains didn't group very well. It was windy out there. I could see my target frame swaying in the wind, so I had to kind of time my shots in between sways. But yeah, there you go. Not an impressive group at all at a 100 yards. And the muzzle velocities I got on this, it was 5 shots, as you can see there, and we had 2988, 3037, 2949, 2946, and 3016. So looks like, as far as that's concerned, it looked like I probably need to tighten up my measuring on the powder, because that's, in my mind, kind of a big swing from 2946 was the lowest one all the way up to 3037. So it was almost 100 feet per second faster between some of them rounds. But I'm not going to go with this load out here. 62. There's my 5 shots, and I know it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but this one right here at the top, where you see there's 2 holes. There's actually 3. This top hole's a little bit bigger than the bottom hole because I put another bullet through there. So definite improvement on grouping on a 62 grain charge, and those muzzle velocities were let's see here, a little more consistent. And guys, I suggest when you're doing this that you actually keep an ammo log. That's what this is here. You know, every time you go out and shoot and collect data. So I got air and ammo temperature, barometric pressure, elevation, 150 grain Accubon long range bullet, 7mm Remington Magnum. Got all that information. But anyways, for the 62, we got a 3088, a 3062, a 3057, 3057, 3079. A lot tighter group. I pretty much hit the 62 grain measuring about as dead nuts as you can get it, because you only got about a 30 feet per second swing from the lowest to highest on that one. But there you go, there's the group on that one. And then on the 64 grain, there's the group. I mean, not great, but not awful, considering wind and everything else. And then, you know, me pulling a trigger wrong, you know, marksmanship stuff. At the 64 grain, I had 3138, 3080, 3124, 3110, 3129. So the muzzle velocities were semi-tight there, 30 or almost 40. They got a little 3080 being the lowest, and then 3138 being the highest, but a lot more consistent than the 60 grain. But the issue I had with this one, I had 2 issues. I had one, it recoils a lot more than I want to handle, and on the last 2 shots, my bolt was really hard to extract the case out. Now I don't know if that's because I exceeded my overall case dimension, or maybe I didn't get the mouth trim square enough. Maybe there was so much recoil on the rifle it jammed something up in the bolt. I don't know, but the last 2, the the bolt what was like stuck. I mean, I really had to yank on it to get it to extract the brass. But with all that information being said and all the data I gathered, I am going with the 62 grain charge, and as soon as I get my bullets made, I will go out and then zero the load to the rifle and the optic. I'm going to zero all those stuff together to start getting those groups in the red at 100 yards, and then after that, once I've got that all nice and solid, then we'll go back and do a video about looking at the once the scope and rifle and everything zeroed, at the tracking of that Vortex Diamondback tactical optic I got on that rifle. But couldn't be happier, guys. I'm really happy I didn't blow up my rifle. So, and I've got a direction to go with the bullets that I'm using. I'm happy. I'm sure if I played around with all the different recipes that are out there, I'm probably find something a little more accurate. But as far as this grouping goes, you know, between my target frame swaying in the wind a little bit and me maybe getting a little overexcited on the trigger on that one there, I mean, I pulled that trigger. I felt it when I sent the shot. But me just squaring up my marksmanship abilities and trying to get out there when I don't have wind moving my targets around that much, I can get that tightened up real good to where I'll be blowing after a 5-shot volley. There wouldn't be none of that red left, and that's all you could hope for, really. But there you go, guys. Got more videos coming up this week. I got the whole week off. I'll have a tundra video and probably an overnight camping trip up to Roosevelt Lake. So for you guys that are interested in that, that's coming up. But stay tuned. I'm going to zero the rifle next with that 62 grain charge, and then another video I'll check the tracking on the scope. Thanks.